Hey everyone, it's Terri Beth. I know it's been a while since I posted, and I've been getting some messages from people like, what's going on? Where have I been? Am I still doing e-commerce and things like that? So I just wanted to come on here and post for a bit to talk about, what's been going on, why, where have I been, what have I been doing, stuff like that. And it's been pretty interesting and wild over the past couple years. So I just wanted to get on here and let everyone know what's going on. So, as many of you know, I was really involved in e-commerce. I had my Amazon FBA business. I was also doing e-commerce on, some dropship websites and things like that that I've made other videos about. And, I was doing it before the pandemic and then a little bit also during the pandemic as well. And as we all know, there were a lot of challenges that came into play that we were all working to overcome, right? So, but at a certain point, it started to become too challenging for me to really continue on in the e-commerce space with physical products. Amazon changed their warehousing policies. The shipping costs from overseas were through the through the roof, as many of you know. And I pivoted to drop shipping, and I found suppliers in the US that I could drop ship when drop shipping from overseas was really difficult. But eventually, all of these things adding up, with increased tariffs, third-party warehouse costs, and just everything becoming even more competitive with larger sellers, I had to make the hard decision to stop the business. And it was a really hard decision, right? It wasn't one that I took lightly, and it's not one that I did at the drop of a hat. I really tried to make it work. But at a certain point, I just wasn't making enough profit to make it worth continuing the business. So all this was going on, along with some personal issues with my family. As I'm sure a lot of you have experienced as well over the past couple of years too. We had deaths in the family. We had family members relocating, which was very disruptive, and we had to make things work, and it was like a blessing and also super challenging at the same time. And we had a lot of challenges with mental health issues and things with family members as well that we all had to work together with to overcome. So that's kind of what was going on during this time. And then also during this time, I still wanted a business. I still wanted to create something that I could work on, and mainly work on at home, part-time. So I started exploring some other options, talking to people, and one of my good friends who had been doing real estate investing for a long time, he was working on creating a coaching program. So, I've joined a lot of coaching programs in the past, bought a lot of courses, as I'm sure a lot of you have. So I was a little hesitant at first, but I knew this guy personally, and I knew that it was, one, something he was actively doing. Two, it was his sole source of income. He wasn't like working a full-time job and doing this. This was what was paying his bills. And if he, didn't succeed, then, his kids were going to go hungry, basically. So, I worked with him one-on-one. I decided to work with him one-on-one because of those reasons. Like, I knew him. I had met him in person. I didn't think he was just some fly-by-night guy who was, selling me snake oil, essentially. So I decided to learn from him and, just dive into it and try it. And I did so kind of quietly because, to be honest, my first attempts at building a business had kind of, failed. It had, worked for a while, and then it wasn't working anymore. So, I didn't want to tell the world what I was doing, essentially, until I knew that it was working, because to be honest, I was a little embarrassed. Um, but, failure is part of life, and, we move on and we try something new, and we don't just give up, right? So, at least that's my philosophy. So, yeah, so I dove into it and I saw some early wins. And I did get sales and success with it, so I kept doing it. But of course, with any business, there's going to be challenges, right? It's not as easy as everyone says. So, uh, you know, I kept at it. I kept learning. I kept, when a challenge would be confronted or a deal was like not working out so well, I would try to work around it. Some deals fell through, some other ones worked really well. Some were super easy. It just was like a huge learning curve, but I've been doing that for the past couple of years, and that's what I've been doing. So I am going to start posting back on this channel, but it's going to be pivoting a little bit more towards real estate investment, because that's what I'm actively doing now. So I really appreciate all of you for following my channel and your support, and I hope you'll stick around if you're interested in, real estate investment and how people are making money. I'm not selling any program or coaching with this. I'm not actively teaching people how to do this. I'm really just going to be posting on here, one, to just keep myself accountable to like doing the work and, making sure that I'm meeting my goals and just kind of keeping a record of it. And then hopefully it may help some other people. You can learn, you can see what I'm doing, you can see what doesn't work for me and what does work for me. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing that. I'm going to be posting once a week. And so if you're interested in real estate investment in the United States, you might want to stick around. So yeah, that's what's been going on. And I'm glad to be back. I'm excited to be making videos again and just, reflecting and hopefully sharing some helpful tips with people of what works or what to look out for. So yeah, that's what's going on, and thank you very much.